You're with the Break-a-Leggers, and we are in the heart of London's West End, just down from Trafalgar Square, in fact, because we are going to the Trafalgar Studios
to see a brand new musical, The Grinning Man.
So stay tuned to find out how many legs,
whether it's break a leg or leg it.
Before you lovely people go any further,
to make sure you've always got your finger on the theatrical pulse,
for theatre news, reviews and interviews,
just hit subscribe now!
Hit subscribe now, hey, and leave your comments below. If you like what we're talking about, if you've got any comments to add, then do it. Any theatre you're excited about, let us know. So, The Grinning Man, what do we know about this piece?
Well, it's a brand new British musical that actually premiered at the Bristol Old Vic in the latter end of 2016. Taken a bit of a hiatus, but now it's transferred here to the West End.
It's based on the Victor Hugo novel, I want to say The Laughing Man. The Man Who Laughed? The man, something about a man and laughing.
The Man Who Laughs.
The Man Who Laughs. And it has been adapted for stage by a chap called Carl Grose.
Yes, the original source material is by Victor Hugo, and he seems to be a bit of a go-to man for musical theatre adaptations, with the likes of
Les Misérables?
Yes, the wildly successful Les Misérables, and also
Hunchback of Notre Dame?
Yes, which is currently, I think, kind of splitting. It was a Disney musical film.
One of my favourite Disneys, gotta be said.
And then it got a stage adaptation in the States, which was due to go to Broadway, and they never really made it, but now it's back in the works again, so keep your eye on that.
I think it was, I think it was also done in Germany. Firstly, Hunchback of Notre Dame. But we're not here for that, we're here for The Grinning Man.
But there's also Notre Dame de Paris.
Notre Dame de Paris, which played at the, where else will we rock you on? That was on at the, Dominion. It was on at the Dominion.
With a fantastic Tina Arena. I'm in chains.
I saw that production a couple of times, it's very good. So Victor Hugo, translated to stage, it's done quite well so far.
Yeah, for this, The Grinning Man, some of the original cast have stayed on board and are here at the Trafalgar Studios. Some of the cast are new, including the always wonderful Julie Atherton.
Yes, she's done loads of stuff. Avenue Q.
Yeah, she kind of made her name in Avenue Q, but she also toured in Sister Act the Musical too. She pops up all over the place and she's always pretty solid.
Anything else we need to know about this before we go in?
Well, the music and lyrics are by composer, lyricists Tim Phillips and Marc Teitler.
Okay.
I don't really know if they've done anything else though, so that'll be interesting to see. And interestingly enough, this production also features this production also features puppetry by the team that bought you the puppets for Warhorse.
Yes, it's a bit of an epic, this production. 2 hours and 50 minutes with a 20-minute interval.
Yes, does have an interval, so make sure you stay tuned and we'll catch you then. So we've come to the interval of The Grinning Man, which means it's time for the Break-a-Leggers 30-second interval breakdown. So, what do you think so far?
I think visually it's really impressive. It's a story I'm not familiar with, so it's intriguing, very tragic. Musically, it sounds very good, but it's almost quite jarring at times, but it's transitioning quite well. What about you?
I would agree. I think visually it's absolutely stunning. Production values are high and they're throwing everything at it. I'm worried at the moment they're trying to cover up for a slight lack of musicality. I don't think I'm going to go away humming the numbers, but I'm interested to see what happens next.
So we've come to the end of The Grinning Man here at the Trafalgar Studios in the heart of London's West End. So, what did you make of that?
I thought large aspects of the production were phenomenal. I would go so far as to say that in terms of putting on a show and a piece of theatre, and we had the joy of being right up close, but from the minute you get into the theatre, the whole place has been themed. In terms of immersion, I felt totally caught up in their world, and I really enjoyed my overall experience. Other bits I wasn't so keen on, and I won't be waxing lyrical about. What about you?
Okay, so I guess we'll start with the positives first, and I must agree the biggest pull about this piece it's very immersive. I think from the moment you kind of go down into the corridors of this deep, dark kind of cabaret world, the theming is very good. The corridors are painted. The set is fantastic. The lighting comes all the way out above the auditorium. If you know the Trafalgar Studios as well, it's not a massive auditorium. I think there's probably 16 rows the way it's set up here. And it's very highly raked in terms of the auditorium. It goes up very steeply, so it's very intimate. And the performances, the way it's staged as well, also came out into the audience. And at the end, the audience were passing cast members from row to row. I thought the set was fantastic. Just the production values on this piece were creative and imaginative and executed extremely well.
Now
that we've got that out of the way.
Yeah, not so good. The unfortunate billing of this production as a musical with a severely lacking score.
A severely lacking score?
Yes.
Okay.
I would go so far as to say that the songs were forgettable. In some instances, kind of totally surplus to requirements, and at worst, embarrassingly bad. I really didn't enjoy some of the songs. I felt that they were quite pointless, and that had a huge impact on my overall feeling about the piece. That is a musical. This is a piece of musical theatre.
I've got to agree. It is billing itself as a musical, and there is nothing about the songs that you're going to remember. The songs are almost quite scratchy at times, where they're being pitched. The poor guy who plays the Grinning Man, all of his stuff is right up there in the very top tenor range, which he sings very well.
But it's not comfortable. It's not a comfortable sound.
It's not a nice sound.
No.
A lot of it just wasn't nice. And I was like, and there's no melodies, there's no give us a tune. And you could say that actually this is quite a dark world. And if it's depicting this dark world, there's almost semi-demitones of notes being played with. The kind of and very slight changes in pitch, which is almost quite creepy, which fits with it. It just isn't nice.
You wouldn't want to get the cast recording of this and listen to it in the car. Like, there is nothing about the songs that have repeat listen value and an enjoyability to them outside of this, which is a fantastic production. It's a tragedy, really.
And in which case they've done fantastic with it, if they've realised and identified quite early on that, do you know what? This isn't the best score. We need to make this look visually fantastic and really draw people in. If that was what they're aiming for, then they have achieved their operandus mode.
Modus operandi.
Yeah, that one.
That was almost one of the notes from one of the songs.
That was one of the notes. That was the final note. Grinning Man!
Yeah. That aside, the cast have done their utmost in order to deliver the story, and there were some fantastically enjoyable performances. Most notably for me, Julian Bleach as Barkilphedro. He was phenomenal. He gives ever such good mouth.
His diction is absolutely fantastic and drawn in, and the tone of his voice, how he's got this beautiful depth of tone. As an actor, I think he's phenomenal. We saw him in, was it Raising Martha at the Park Theatre?
You can see our review for that just up there.
Yes, and I seem to remember him being very good in that.
Yes.
And he is a fantastic actor. This part could almost have been written for him.
Yeah.
I was thinking I'd put him up for an award.
Yeah.
If it was me.
Me too. I think his physicality of the piece is bang on. It's so on point. The moment he wanders onto that stage, he is the personification of the world in which they live in, and that was a fantastic joy to watch.
Now, I don't want to be a bit of a plot spoiler, but he does play the baddie, and he did what I always talk about when someone is the baddie, which is not to play the baddie. he played everything but the baddie,
Yes.
which was absolutely fantastic. So then he's got a complete array of character, and you learn to like him and love him, even though he's being manipulative, callous, he only wants to rise above his station, and he'll stomp on and use violence to get to it, but yet you care.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's fantastic.
Yeah, I would.
How he's developed that.
I would rave about his performance. Also, notably for me, I enjoyed Marc Anderson as Dirimois. He is the spoiled prince, the incestuous prince of the royal family that are presiding over this story. And I thought not only is he cute, he also
very unbiased opinion there,
clearly, but he had a real sweetness and a lightness about him, which I very much enjoyed. I thought whenever he came on stage, I was really intrigued as to his character. I liked him a lot.
Yeah, he was very good. He was very well cast. He suited that role very well. Kind of like it was a bit of a spoilt, pompous individual. He suited that extremely well.
Also, I know you were a fan of Sean Kingsley playing Ursus.
Yeah, no, he's played Jean Valjean before, and I saw elements of Jean Valjean in his performance, but it was just very strong, very steady. Again, he had a lovely tone to his voice, kind of a bit gruff at times, but then these beautiful, rich tenor high notes coming out with lovely vibrato. Again, playing a kind of someone with a hidden past, a bit of a hidden secret, but he didn't play that, he played it with complete compassion.
Yeah.
It's almost like a bit of an echo of a Jean Valjean character in a way.
Yeah, I did. I mean, but maybe that's in the writing. It's a Victor Hugo story.
That's
maybe
what I
a
mean,
lot
yeah.
of his male characters are like that. If so, there's definite, acknowledgements and nods to that sort of character.
And it does fit in with his other work. I mean, the Grinning Man kind of being a tragic, disfigured character, echoes again of Hunchback of Notre Dame and Notre Dame de Paris in terms of being Quasimodo, this disfigured character just trying to find his way in life. It's quite similar in its makeup.
Yeah. The performances, by and large, all very good. But for us, I think the star of the show is the creative team. The set designer, Jon Bausor, the puppetry designer. There's some lovely puppetry work. Finn Caldwell and Toby Ole.
Who was that, sorry?
Finn Caldwell and Toby Ole.
Okay, what did you think of the puppetry?
I liked it.
So, it's great. I'm going to say it was absolutely fantastic. I think we said at the start that they're the guys that did War Horse, and it's just something where they embody the character. They'll have one puppet of one individual, but it's not one person. You have up to 4 people doing one puppet, each operating different parts of the body, breathing into it complete life, which then draws you in completely. And it's very clever stuff, what they've done and what they bring to the stage.
Also, another aspect of the production that I liked a lot were the costumes.
Yes.
I thought the costumes were phenomenal by Jean Chan.
Jean Chan.
Well done, Jean.
And it all fit in. I guess you've got so many different people working on so many different levels. Their communication skills are on point. They're all talking to each other, all on the same page. It all seemed to merge beautifully.
Anyway, I bet you're wondering how many legs we're going to be awarding this.
So, for the Grinning Man at the Trafalgar Studios, we are going to give 4 legs for this piece.
It's a 5-star production with a 3 or less star score, which drags the overall points down. Such a shame. Had this had a fantastic score, this could rival some of the biggest shows in the West End. This could be up there with the likes of Wicked in terms of production value, and if it had memorable tunes, it would be a repeat visit for me. I'd want to see it again.
Yeah, absolutely indulging performance. Indulgent, lovely performance. It's just the sound, the songs, just not quite there.
Back to the drawing board with that one, guys.
But great production, well performed, cast gave you their all.
That's what we thought. Have you seen the show? What did you think?
Yeah, please let us know. Leave your comments below.
We're the Breaker Leggers, and we'll catch you again soon.
Bye!